Want to wish a very happy 60th birthday to Mick Foley. Not just a wrestler. He's got the literary output of James Joyce, the one ear of artist Vincent van Gogh, and the ass of Jack Victory. Truly a Renaissance man. It's Wrestling Observer Live. We're live 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. And Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. It's Jim Valley.
That's the most exciting type of valley.
The effing king of recovery.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot.
Back because of the fans.
Each and every one of you.
The largest collection of STD having trailer park trash The Rock has ever seen.
You all fat, neck-bearded, mouth-breathing trolls.
They don't have adrenaline in their soul. All you do is be hurtful. All you are is abusive. And all you've ever done is bully me into being your damn puppet and expected me to do it with a smile on my face.
And after last night's Smackdown, we got a new one.
You can't handle the truth. You want our truth. Our truth is right here, staring you in the face. And there's not a damn thing you or anyone who fights for you can do about it.
TNA Against All Odds last night. The inspiration, the one-time Iconics returning. Does TNA have too many meme/comedy wrestlers? I think so. Money in the Bank tonight. Worlds Collide, free on YouTube this afternoon before Money in the Bank. And regardless of what happens tonight on Worlds Collide, I think there's no doubt it'll be the best run and tightest run card in AAA history. Smackdown last night set the table for the PLE and the announced return of King of the Ring. Plus, Shane has some interesting things to say about it. Talk about that and more. Stay by. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live. Hey. Happy Saturday, everybody. How's everybody doing? It's good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Everybody get up. All right. Oh, I have some questions. Good question here. All right. Yes.
You know, you've heard commercials too many times when you have the phone numbers memorized for these shitty.
Right. Well, people in the chat always talk about they want to hear Big Lou or Reagan Gold. They love that.
Oh, Big Lou, he's on number 2.
Yes. They love Big Lou.
He's on meds too.
Yes, isn't he always?
Yes.
Big Lou. He's on.
You need a divorce attorney? Big Lou.
That's right. We have worse advertising than the WWE ring mat.
Oh, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Oh, we got the Buy Blue, the blue pill.
Of course, you gotta have dick pills.
Progressive Insurance. There we go.
Oh, heavens. So funny.
I still love one of my old coworkers, one of the hosts. I was like, we're asking him, he's like, hey, that coffee drink that you promote like, is it any good? I don't know. I don't drink coffee.
Right, exactly.
And then we're like, oh, is there anything you wouldn't pump? He's like, dick pills and hair plugs.
There was so funny. There was some travel YouTubers were watching, and they were raving about some coffee, and then they stuck the commercial in their video. They come back to the video, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't ever really drink coffee." They said that in their video.
Oh man, that's
God, you dummies!
yeah. You gotta at least say that off.
Right?
Yeah.
I just don't think they were paying attention to. They probably didn't know they were putting in a coffee commercial.
All right, here we go.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
It's Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live, brought to you by Slim Jims. WWE putting ads on everything these days. Matter of fact, Dave Meltzer in The Observer this week says he expects that they're going to put ads on more gear for wrestlers. They come to the ring, they're going to look like NASCAR drivers. There's just, oh heavens. Like Shane McMahon says, anything can happen in WWE. Shane McMahon spoke with TMZ recently. And keep in mind, whenever you see people walking through the airport or down the street or whatever, it's planned ahead of time. Someone calls and says, hey, Shane McMahon's going to be here at such and such a time. So this was totally planned out. But they asked him about his dad and the rumor that his father might start a new wrestling company. Shane said, you never know what's going to happen out there. Of course, anything can happen in WWE, but those rumors are false. Shane with the WWE corporate speak still. He was also asked about the meeting he had last summer with AEW's Tony Khan. He said, while I wish Khan continued success, Shane says AEW isn't the company he helped build. Excuse me? What did Shane McMahon do? Helped build? Oh, brother. Anyway, he said, I had a meeting with AEW, wish them continued success or whatever, but it's not WWE, not the company I helped build. But you never know what's going to happen in this business. I know what's going to happen. Shane's terrible ideas and never making inroads into business in China. When asked about speculation that Vince McMahon could buy back WWE, Shane says, well, he owns a big part of TKO still, so you never know what's going to happen there either. I'm not trying to be vague. I'm just saying anything can happen. Vince owns like 3% of TKO. That's not a big part as far as I can tell. He says he's doing really well. Vince is enjoying life, getting a little rest in there. But you know my dad, he's always gung-ho. He's always what with those? Anyway. And he's always doing the next thing and what he's focused on. Yes. He's always doing one or number two, one of the things. Somebody in the chat wants to know my thoughts on TKO being in debt and reportedly asking Roman Reigns to take a pay cut. I'm not a big, huge expert when it comes to business, but from what I've read and have seen and talked to people about, it's not unusual to have some debt in your business. A lot of times it's healthy. And if you remember when the group who first bought UFC, when TKO who was it? That first bought UFC, they were leveraged up to their eyeballs. They had huge amounts of debt, and eventually it paid off. So I don't think I'm really concerned, but I mean, I don't know that the debt is the reason they're asking Roman Reigns to take a pay cut. I mean, I don't follow UFC as closely anymore. Just not my scene. And if it's your scene, that's great, whatever. But, from what I see, there's a lot of no-name, lower-paid fighters. And there's just this audience that just likes UFC. It just relates to them. They like the vibe. They like Dana. They like his vibe. And it has less to do with great fights and just more to do with, that it relates to them. It's more of a feeling than actually enjoying skilled fighters. So I just think that they're looking to cut costs as much as they can because that's just the TKO way and the way that they've found success with UFC. And does that transfer to WWE? That's a great question. Obviously, WWE has been on a huge winning streak for a number of years. However, Netflix numbers, a little soft. There are other signs that things are softening a bit. Doesn't mean business is going to be in the toilet or anything like that. Just a sign that maybe things aren't quite as robust as they've been. Or it's also possible that you get one more hot angle and you're right back up, churning out that kind of profit like they were before. So it's hard to say as far as that goes, but I just don't know that if WWE fans are quite as, well, they're very loyal. Wrestling is cyclical. People see the same things, they eventually see it, and they cycle out. Or you're a kid, you discover boys, or you discover girls, and you kind of tap out for a while. Or you go to college. Maybe people in your dorm or your frat or your sorority, they don't watch wrestling and you're doing other stuff. Or maybe you just simply grow out of it regardless. Or you're like the rest of us and you never grow out of it. But it's going to be curious what Roman Reigns does. Does he just take the pay cut knowing that he needs the name Roman Reigns? And he also needs the inroads that WWE has made for him. He's already got plenty of money. And maybe he's just going to go to Hollywood like everybody else. It's going to be curious as far as what happens going forward, and who else do they cut, or who else's pay do they offer to cut? And what does that mean for AEW? Does Tony Khan still dangle some of those big contracts, or someone who's making the decision to sign will go, well, TKO's been, cutting a lot of deals. So do I sign there and risk the fact that my pay could be cut sometime in the future? Maybe I'll go with AEW knowing that they follow their contracts all the way to the end. It's going to be interesting as far as negotiations go, or things go in the future, or people should decide that WWE is the main brand. It's the mainstream name. I want to go there and risk it and make a name for myself so I can be the next Rock or the next Cody Rhodes and have your John Cena and make movies or be on Fruity Pebbles or Chef Boyardee or Minute Maid Punch, Fruit Punch, whatever. It all depends on what people want out of their career. And there's some people who want to wrestle and be wrestlers. And there's other people who have dreams that are much bigger than that. So it's going to be interesting going forward as far as what this means for AEW, for WWE, and maybe AEW will then cut some salaries as well. We shall We shall see. But as far as the business Shane McMahon helped build, setting up the ring doesn't count as building the business. Raw Underground doesn't count as helping to build the business. One main event at WrestleMania against Undertaker doesn't count. All right, we got Smackdown. We got 2 pay-per-views. 3, actually, technically, to count. TNA. A lot more. Stand by. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live. That's funny. That's right, at WWE Water Park. You mentioned I'm going to Dubai and Abu Dhabi here next week. I'll be gone next week. Going to celebrate my birthday. Going to Warner Brothers World. And going to the new SeaWorld in Abu Dhabi. Probably Motion Gate. And we're going to Dragon Mart. Very excited for Dragon Mart. Dragon Mart is like if AliExpress was a mall. Or if Temu was a mall. It's like all Chinese knockoffs. I'm not going to Riyadh. Women can at least drive in Dubai and in Abu Dhabi. They're a little more liberal than Riyadh. Not going to Saudi Arabia. Although I gotta say that park looks pretty cool, but it is what it is. Oh heavens! Oh heavens! Let's see here.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Wembley. Good afternoon, Philadelphia, and the world.
Are these all live?
Because we share the laughter and
I don't think there's any more releases coming.
On a side note, I do like the that new feature StreamYard added where you can put the little chat in the corner like you have.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
I gotta play with StreamYard more and stick up pictures and do some more things like that.
There's a bunch of stuff you can do. And,
I need. It's hard.
It's also super easy. It's super easy to grab clips. Like they kind of cut it up for you a little bit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, if you go in after the show and look, they kind of chop it up a little bit.
Oh.
So, makes it easy to kind of edit instead of having to go through and write everything down. 1455 said this or whatever. But, yeah. Anyway, all right, here we go.
That's 800-949-0039.
You guys have a lot.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Jim Valley, it's Wrestling Observer Live. Hey, I'm going to be gone the next 2 weeks, taking some time off for my birthday, and actually going to get out of town and do some stuff. So next week and the week after, maybe I'll be able to crank out maybe one show. Maybe. I'm not positive. We'll see what I can do. We'll see what we can do. Oh, and I will be in Portland on Wednesday for AEW. I'll be out of town for Kent up here, but I will be in Portland. So if you see me in Portland, say hi. If you want. Whatever you want to do. Hey, last night, TNA had a special event against all odds. Looking forward to next event, Susudio. And also Can't Buy Me Love. Anyway, in the main event, Trick Williams retained the TNA title over Elijah, thanks to the help of AJ Francis, came to ringside toward the end of the match. Anyway, the Williams ended up sending Elijah into an exposed turnbuckle, then hit the trick shot for the win. It was also a night of returns in the Knockouts division, as the Inspiration, the former Iconics, returned during the pre-show, and they made it clear they were coming after the Knockout Tag Team titles. And it was announced later in the show they would be in action on the next Impact episode. Also, Killer Kelly made a return to TNA, coming to the ring after her former tag team partner, Masa Slamovich, and that she retained the Knockouts title as well. Kelly had a chain, laid it on the floor in front of Slamovich before leaving. Anyway, of course, Kelly took time off last year, the birth of her baby girl. The Elegance brand defeated Harley Hudson, Myla Grace, and Zaya Brookside. And again, as I mentioned, the Inspiration came out afterwards. TNA International Champion Steve Macklin defeated Mance Warner. Matt, Jeff Hardy, and Leon Slater Hardy defeated the Hometown Man and, oh wait, I should say, hang on, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Leon Hardy Slater, and the Hometown Man, who was a guy in a mask, probably Cody Deaner, as they were referencing him. They defeated the System, but Cody Deaner had a Phoenix Suns jersey on and University of Arizona sun mask on. And he's the Hometown Man, and I assume they're going to do this gimmick all over, I guess. I don't know. Mustafa Ali defeated Jason Hotch. John Skyler was at ringside with Tasha Steelz and on commentary for part of the match. The First Class Penthouse with AJ Francis and Casey Navarro, who cost Mike Santana his title match last week. Santana came through the crowd. Big brawl that security had to break up. And Francis sacrificed Navarro, who was put through a table by Santana. Francis then broke a champagne glass over Santana's head and drug Navarro away. TNA Knockouts champion Masa Slamovich defeated Lei Ying Lee to retain. Killer Kelly, as I mentioned, returned and dropped chain at Masha's feet. Frankie Kazarian pinned Joe Hendry with his feet on the ropes. Kazarian called Hendry a loser after the match and ran off. TNA Tag Team Champions, the Nemeths, defeated the Rascals to retain after Ryan hit the Hollywood ending on Miguel to get the pinfall. Backstage, Eric Young complained about an NXT guy holding a TNA title. Santino Marella with his daughter, Ariana Grace, defeated Robert Stone with Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford to become the undisputed TNA Director of Authority. Referee Matt Cardona called it right down the middle. Ariana handed her father a second Cobra. He tried it first time, didn't work, but second sock. Santino hit Robert with the Cobra for the win. And the Toy Sheriff's badge to be Director of Authority now belongs exclusively to Santino. And in the main event, TNA World Champion Trick Williams defeated Elijah to retain after a distraction from AJ Francis and the trick shot. You know, I'm glad TNA is doing better. I'm glad that it's benefiting from its partnership with WWE. But, you know, a lot of these wrestlers are very talented, but I just feel like they have too many low-level, mid-card comedy / meme wrestlers on the roster. Joe Hendry, is he over? Yes. Meme wrestler. Elijah, meme wrestler. Santino Marella, not a full-time wrestler, but still, meme wrestler. All of these people are just meme after meme after meme. AJ Francis, I think he's got some talent, but ever since he botched that dive over the top rope, he's been a meme wrestler. And now the inspiration. Very funny comedians. When they were the Iconics, very talented. I'm not disputing these people are talented, but there's just so many people that you can't take seriously, that don't come off as a threat in TNA. It's just, they have too many meme and comedy wrestlers that people just don't take seriously in TNA. It's just, there's too much comedy and too many people that are just not seen as a real threat on the TNA roster. Yes, these people are names. Yes, they're popular. And I'm not disputing their talent, but who are the badasses on this roster? Steve Macklin. Even, the Nemeth, Ryan Nemeth is kind of a meme wrestler. Just, I don't know. The roster needs more credibility. Smackdown Friday night from Bakersfield. And I can't believe it. A 3-hour show. And not once did Joe Tessitore make a Buck Owens reference in Bakersfield. The hell's wrong with him? Joe also called last week's Nia and Tiffany match an instant classic. I like Joe. I think he's been a great benefit to the commentary in WWE, but to call that match an instant classic is getting into Gorilla Monsoon country with that kind of BS. Show opens with the usual superstars walking into the arena, previewing what they're going to do tonight. Then Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker, looking like Chelsea Green and the Secret Service. They come to the ring, and guess what? They're interrupted by another group with a charismatic, colorfully dressed leader, flanked by a pair of muscle dressed in black. It's Solo in all red, along with Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo. Everybody wants to win Money in the Bank. Seth, Braun, and Reed leave the ring, and out comes Jimmy Uso, who attacks the Bloodline from behind. When we come back, it's Big Jim versus JC. Jimmy Uso rolls up JC for the pin when Jacob jumps up on the apron. JC bumps into Jacob, gets rolled up by Big Jim for the pin. JC blames Jacob for the loss. In the hallway, Julia and Zelina Vega have another confrontation. Also backstage, Damian Priest is coming for Jacob Fatu's U.S. title. Zelina pins Piper Niven in a Bakersfield brawl. Not a lot of reaction for this match because sadly I don't think the crowd sees either of these two very talented women as stars. Used a chair, a table, and Julia helps Zelina by taking out Alba Fire and Chelsea. Then Zelina powerbombs Piper through a table for the win. Julia raises Vega's hand and then attacks Zelina, leaves her laying in the ring, holds up the U.S. title to Julia. Backstage, Jimmy tells Jay he is a champion and he can't be tired or injured. He's got to go out there, whether he's 100% or not, give it his all. Video of Aleister Black cutting a promo on LA Knight. Aleister Black and LA Knight, kind of a shaky match. Couple of rough points, some timing issues. They don't have great chemistry. Wasn't a bad match, but wasn't great either. Seth, Braun, and Bronson come out, attack LA Knight, and dump Black outside the ring. I mean, the way they treated Black he was very much an afterthought, and LA Knight was the star in this match. Breaker gives Knight the spear. And backstage, both GMs announce the King and Queen of the Ring are coming back. Both tournaments will start with 4-way matches, then singles matches, and then the finals will take place at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. And the winners of the men's and women's finals will get world title matches at SummerSlam. So King of the Ring is now the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. We'll wrap up SmackDown, talk about the pay-per-views tonight, and much more. Stand by. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
You're clear.
Thank you.
Oh, here's the Reagan Gold.
My God.
I'll take talk back out so they can hear it.
Gold Group. Do you see storm clouds approaching? The stock market hates uncertainty, and there are plenty of reasons to be concerned.
Right.
High inflation, unstable debt, and economic uncertainty are just a few. You have car insurance, homeowners insurance,
This
and
was
life
Biden's
insurance.
fault.
But do you have
They blame
insurance for
Biden.
your retirement savings and your 401k?
Well, because
We
it's
urge
Trump's
all
fault.
fellow conservative investors to learn about the one asset that could help ensure your nest egg doesn't crack under economic pressure. GOLD. Gold. Call the one name any conservative investor needs to know about. Reagan Gold Group.
800-360-1917. 800-360-1917. 800-360-1917. That's 800-360-1917.
If you've got a property that
Yeah, I could do without Aleister Black. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. What is he? Is he a Satanist? What is he? What does he want? You know? Is he a Hot Topic cashier? I just don't know.
Kind of looks like a Hot Topic cashier.
All right. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that. Yeah, you could be right. That's funny. That's funny. Instant coffee, instant classic. Wasn't there a wrestler who was the instant classic? Was that like in WCW or something? Or TNA or something?
If you Google the instant classic, it says the first one that comes up is Christian Cage, but Raymond Helms.
I'm not sure. Oh, it was Christian. It was Christian. He was the instant classic.
Okay, all right.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you. I was thinking of somebody else. That's right. See, Christian was, yeah, thank you. It was Christian Cage.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
you are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
It's Jim Valley. It's Wrestling Observer Live. Someone in the chat asked, did I get a Switch 2? I did get a Switch 2. I like it. I mean, it's not a huge upgrade, but I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I mean, I even got a Wii U the first day. I like Nintendo. And I think I just stay with Nintendo. I just like their games. I like Mario Kart, but I'm not like the biggest Mario Kart fan. I love this new Mario Kart for the Switch 2. And I'm a big Zelda guy, so I got Breath of the Wild for the Switch 2. And it is really cool looking. It looks amazing. But I'm a mark like that. Anyway, Wrestling Observer Live, SmackDown last night. I thought it was a fine show. Backstage, Byron interviews Jade, who's ready for Queen of the Ring. Charlotte interrupts, says Jade needs to pick her friends better or don't have any friends at all. And Charlotte says there's only one queen in WWE. And then Tiffany appears. I couldn't hear her over the crowd, but I think she implied that she's the queen. They have a video with Legado de Fantasma in Spanish talking about their match at Worlds Collide. Backstage, American Made gets into it with Penta and Andrade. All this makes them match the Creeds versus Penta and Andrade later tonight. Tiffany Stratton comes to the ring. Last year, she was the youngest Money in the Bank winner and the youngest person to cash in. And she became the it girl of WWE. And she says no matter who wins Saturday, that person's world will revolve around Tiffany. 6-woman tag team match, all the women in Money in the Bank. Rhea, Stephanie, and Alexa Bliss beat Roxanne Perez, Julia, and Naomi when Rhea pinned Roxanne, when all three baby faces hit their finishers on Perez. Backstage, Solo tells JC that Jacob loves him and tells him that Fatu is not that smart. He only thinks about himself. He's all gas, no brains. Tells JC to handle business tomorrow, and they walk away. So obviously there's plans for dealing with Solo and Money in the Bank. We shall see if that goes awry or not. We see Jacob Fatu walk in, and he was overhearing them. Fatu looks angry. The fans, though, are chanting Fatu, so that the babyface turn is coming. Back from commercial, there's a Wyatt 6 promo. It's Dallas without a mask. No Uncle Howdy mask. Just his face in the camera talking about the tag team division. So, lucky Wyatt 6. Live in the arena, the entire tag team division is backstage arguing, talking about how the Wyatt 6 is coming for them. Street Profits, Fraxium, Guns, all say they want to go after Wyatt 6. While DIY stand there and say, yeah, you guys go do that, handle it. Penta and Andrade beat the Creeds when Penta hits Julius with the Mexican Destroyer. Isn't it amazing how in AEW, the Canadian or Mexican Destroyer is a joke, but here it's amazing. It's funny how that works. As they're celebrating, Seth, Braun, and Bronson attack Penta and Andrade. So obviously the story of this show is that Seth, Braun, and Bronson, they need a name, by the way. I can't believe they don't have a name already. They're beating down all the threats to Seth in the Money in the Bank match. WWE officials break it up as we go to commercial. We come back, Seth, Reed, and Breaker with Heyman are still in the ring. Heyman says, don't fear the future because they are the future. That's right. 38, 39-year-old Seth Rollins, who's been in WWE like a dozen years. He's the future. Heyman says Seth will win the title, and he will propel the industry into a vision that he has. Cody's music hits, comes to the ring. Jay's music hits. The heels decide not to confront Cody or Jay and powder out of the ring. Cody says seeing Cena standing next to Logan Paul in 2025 is like Michael Hayes standing next to the Hardy Boys. It's quite a pull. Cena's music hits. Cena's being introduced. In comes Logan Paul from behind. Hits Jay with the right hand. Cody goes for the crossroads on Logan, but Cena hits him with the right hand. Cena with the AAA, the attitude adjustment. Not AAA, double A. On Jay, Logan then grabs Cody up, hits him with the pulverizer. Logan climbs to the top of the ring ropes, frog splash onto Logan. Cena pulls Jay, and Logan lands a frog splash onto Jay. And then Cena tells them, take a good look, because no one's coming to save them. He's been saying this for half a year. Their dream of what WWE is will be ruined. Says this is their future. Takes the title home, and Logan will take the world championship to the top. Logan Paul raises the world championship in the air, and Cena says, the last real world champion and the moment maker, the one of one, and the inevitable future face of WWE. Cena tells the fans to humble themselves. The future world heavyweight champion, Logan Paul. The fans boo as he and Logan Paul raise the two titles. Fans are chanting, "We want truth." And as you heard, Cena talked about, "You can't handle the truth."
You can't handle the truth. You want our truth. Our truth is right here, staring you in the face. And there's not a damn thing you or anyone who fights for you can do about it.
Cena calls the fans hypocrites and liars for chanting for the truth. I mean, it would be interesting if this whole truth thing is a work. A truth shows up at Money in the Bank, but who knows? Anyway, Cena calls them losers, like I mentioned. He says winners write history books, calls Paul the future champion, and himself the last real champion. They raise the championships. Smackdown goes off the air. Money in the Bank, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. As we mentioned, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso versus John Cena, and Logan Paul. Men's Money in the Bank, LA Knight, Penta, Andrade, Solo, Sikoa, El Grande Americano, and Seth Rollins vie for the title. Seth seems like the obvious choice. I could certainly see possibly Solo, the second choice, but everybody else, I don't know. Certainly something's going to happen with El Grande Americano and Penta and possibly other luchadors or American-made. We shall see. Women's Money in the Bank, Stephanie Vaquer, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, and Julia. One would think Rhea Ripley would be the obvious choice. Maybe Alexa Bliss, possibly, I guess, Naomi is the favorite. But it seems like a lot of women are already tied up into a lot of other things. So, like Julia is going after the U.S. title. Maybe there's something going on with Alexa and Charlotte. Does Charlotte interfere to help Alexa? I don't know. But there's definitely some different dynamics happening. Women's Intercontinental title match. Lyra defends against Becky. If Lyra wins, then Becky can never challenge for the IC title while Lyra is champion. 4 matches on the show, which seems to imply that the Money in the Bank matches are going to go long, probably open and close the shows. One would imagine. And then on YouTube, Worlds Collide. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific. AAA Mega Championship. Vikingo defends against Chad Gable. 4-way for the NXT North American title. Ethan Page defends against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Rey Fenix. 6-man tag, Legado de Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Angel, and Berto take on El Hijo de Dr. Wagner, Pagano, and Psycho Clown. Women's tag team match, Stephanie Vaquer versus Handle of Ice take on Chick Tormenta and Delise. LWO, Dragon Lee and Cruz del Toro with Lince Dorado take on Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. Now, of course, this is Worlds Collide is the name of a very famous pay-per-view from 1994. And look, I think regardless of how this show goes, I think it's going to be the most well-run pay-per-view in AAA history. That was always the frustrating things about AAA. They had so much talent, and you'd feel bad for people because there'd be long gaps between matches, or matches would just fall apart, or there'd be long gaps during matches. It was just so sloppy, or there'd be audio problems, or the announcers would be talking about other things. At least they fixed the announcing as far as Larry Dallas. He was great. Unfortunately, he's not calling this show. I guess as of right now, I'm not aware that we know who is going to be calling the show. Dave says that Mike Tenay has been reached out to. No word yet if he has agreed to do it, which seems odd because Dave and Mike are obviously very, very good friends. So I don't know what that means. But if you recall, if you've seen the show, the 1994 Worlds Collide show, Mike Tenay and Chris Cruz called the English version and did an amazing job of it. And I mean, I don't know. Mike Tenay is retired. I've reached out for him to do interviews and to do a couple of things with me. And he's very nice about it. But he just says, I'm retired. So does he come back? That's a great question. Certainly, I don't know how closely he's been following wrestling, if at all. I mean, I believe he still reads The Observer. And I saw him years ago at Cauliflower Alley because he lives in Vegas. And he stopped me, and I was amazed he knew who I was. He talked about how much he enjoyed Pacific Rim, which, I mean, come on. That was like the greatest compliment I've ever had. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I just host the show. It's Fumi who's the guy that makes the show great, but still I was amazed that he even knew who I was. But Worlds Collide, we shall see how it goes and see what it leads to. I believe we have a Triple Mania coming up. So does that mean we're going to have a new contender, or does Chad Gable cheat and he gets the title match? Or does Chad Gable lose only for maybe El Grande Americano to win the men's Money in the Bank and then challenge Vikingo at Triple Mania? It's a possibility. I don't know. Hey, we'll talk real quick about the original Worlds Collide coming up next. A couple more minutes left. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer.
You're clear. Okay, so you said next week and the week after you're gone?
Correct.
Okay. Well, have a good birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, if I have time to do a new show, I'll try.
Okay. If not, it's fine.
Yeah. I'll see. Like what I'd like to do is do a show after after Portland. When
yeah, because you said you're going, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Did I do that? Oh, I guess not. Okay. Maybe it's something. Oh, that's where it is. Never mind. Okay, there it is. Oh, there we go. Hang on.
Oh, see, this is one of my favorite commercials. My little dog Oliver was stolen from the garage.
That's right.
You want to cut that Lomachenko piece at 2.
I saw the note in
the Leonard Duran thing.
We're in a break right now, so
I'll come back.
Yeah.
I feel like
You call right now. Paid for by the Home Security Hotline. 800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. 800-361-3491. That's 800-361-3491.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine?
This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. That's 800-913-9739.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live. Of course, When Worlds Collide. It's a very famous pay-per-view from 1994. In the main event, Eddie Guerrero and Love Machine Art Barr lost a hair versus mask match. Del Hijo de Santo and Octagon. 2 out of 3 falls. One of the most exciting and innovative matches of its era. If you've never seen it, go out of your way to find it. I mean, you can trace that match to a lot of wrestling where we are today. And I remember WCW during the Hulkamania era would advertise this pay-per-view. And I remember being so excited. I didn't have pay-per-view capability at the time, so I didn't get to see it live. But I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this is so much more exciting. And they were advertising it, sort of, with commercials during WCW. At the same time, they were building up to Starrcade 94, which was Hulk Hogan versus The Butcher, Brutus Beefcake. And I was just like, who in the hell wants to see this match? This match is going to be garbage. This pay-per-view is going to be garbage. And it did a decent buy rate. A much better buy rate than When Worlds Collide. So what the hell will I know? But also, people were praising Mike Tenay and Chris Cruz for calling the matches and really giving you a ton of background on every wrestler and the moves and the history of Lucha Libre. And it was just one of the best all-around pay-per-views and something totally groundbreaking at the time. So obviously today's Worlds Collide will not be to that level, but I'm sure it will be very entertaining. I'm sure a lot of wrestlers will go out of their way to make a name, and it's just going to be curious to see how maybe some fans who aren't familiar with AAA enjoy it with like Psycho Clown and things. I guess it's already sold like over 10,000 tickets for a noon show. So that is very impressive. And that, honestly, it makes me happy. So go out and enjoy the wrestling. I will talk to you in 3 weeks. I'm going to be gone for my birthday on June 16th. But I enjoy you guys being here, and I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. And I will talk to you 3 weeks from now. So I'm gone the next 2 weeks. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Or not. Bye-bye.
Yeah, no worries.
Go. All right, I got a few minutes, I think I do.
Battling it out against.
There it is. Yes, thank you for the birthdays. Oh, I need to watch that. I haven't watched the documentary yet. I need to watch that. I know. I watched so much comedy when I was a kid. All that comedy boom on cable and stuff. Yes, I go Fox. I'll play. I rarely play online. Rarely. But I play with people I know. So, but I'm not great anymore. I'm not great at games anymore. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm getting the 4-hour Dynamite show in Portland, so that should be fun. That should be fun. Is there something else I want to talk about? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. Oh, I love Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime is my favorite game. I've been playing Metroid Prime 2 on my my Chinese device, my little dealy bobber. Here, hang on one second. Hang on. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. So here is, for those who don't know, I'll do a little comparison here. Here is the, so this is the Switch 1. This is the OLED version, which I buy because I'm a mark. And then here, there's your Switch 2. So you can see the screen's bigger and it's brighter. And this thing obviously has more processing and such. And you can play GameCube games on here, which that's kind of fun. But the new Mario Kart is amazing. And what's really nice, one of the problems with this machine is you'll be playing, and these grips, the controls can just kind of pop right off, and they pop off sometimes when I'm playing. Yeah, I agree with Fox. It does feel a lot more premium. I agree. The magnet setup, yeah. So you push this button here. I don't know if you can see it because it's black. The little sideways button here. You push it, and then the magnets will come off. See, so they don't slide off. So they can't slide off. So that's nice. So I never really liked the Game Boy that much. And here's what I have. This is an Anbernick, and I bought this before the tariffs because I wanted something. But I only wanted to spend so much. I mean, there are better machines and more powerful machines, but this can play some Switch. It plays GameCube, which I was happy with, up to GameCube, but which is good enough for me. But this thing was like $200, and that was kind of my limit. I didn't want to spend, you could buy something stronger and more powerful, but I was like, I'm happy just playing up to GameCube. But so it's got, hang on one second here. There we go. So you can see it's got, where am I at? There I am. You can see it's got different systems you can play. So it's got, there's the 64. There's the Game Boy Advance. I play a lot of that. PlayStation 2. What else? Oh yeah, then the Wii and GameCube. I mean, the Wii is essentially a GameCube, but you can download games, download ROMs, and play them, but it comes preloaded with a lot of stuff. The only thing I don't like is I'm having trouble. I want to have some Atari games on here too, just for a little pick up and play, but I can't figure out how to do that. Does it have Game Gear? I think it does. Hang on. Where is it? Neo Geo, MAME, Mega Drive. Where is Game Gear? I thought I did have it. Maybe not. No, I guess it does. You can load Game Gear on it though. You can load it, but yeah. So yeah, they have new models. There's new Ambernicks like coming out like every week. So you can, I guess, but I don't know how. You can remap it, but there's a video on it, but I haven't done it. But it's just, you know, grips. It's got nice grips here, and you can just play. And it's got. I wanted a big enough screen. I've got one. I've got another Ambernick that's like a Game Boy Advance with the clamshell. In my eyes, that doesn't work for me so much anymore. So I needed a bigger screen. So there you go. I like my toys. But I mean, these are cheap, and like I said, I want to get one before what you call it, for the tariffs. It's like, for example, there you go, Mike, there. See what happens here. Hang on, where is it? Come on. There it is. See, it plays the Wind Waker. I've been playing, I think I told you last week, I've been playing a lot of Wind Waker. So there it is. So it's fine. You know, some of the more, you know, some of the bigger games, you get some slowdown. Metroid Prime 2, I get slowdown on. But I'm like, I wanted to pay what I wanted to pay. I didn't want to, like I said, you can get a stronger machine that plays modern games if you want. But I didn't want to spend $500. I was like, 2 is good. 2 is good. So that's what I did. I was like, I'm just happy playing. I really wanted to play GameCube. That's what I wanted to play. But yeah. But this thing it's fun. Let's see. What I could do this. Yeah. Do this. Hang on 1 second. Can we do this? Let's see. Does that work? Not really. Kind of. Not really. Okay, never mind. But you can kind of see how it works. But it's pretty. I mean, what's going on here? I don't know. Anyway, so there we go. I killed that. I dropped that. Hang on. There we go. I don't know. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, they do have GameCube on the Switch. Yeah. I know. I hope they do too. Yeah, I really was enjoying. I played Prime 2 on this, and while I do get slowdown, for some reason I didn't like Prime 2 the first time it came out, but now I really like it. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. But I mentioned I like Mario Kart. I'm not the biggest Mario Kart fan, but I love this Mario Kart. This feels like an arcade game. The open world is cool. It's fun. I like it. I like it quite a bit. kind of bummed. I have a friend who's been the voice of Peach and Toad and things for a few years, and they're not going to renew her contract. They're going to go in a different direction. That's too bad. Yeah, I think that was it too. The Dark World. The Dark World was kind of annoying. Yeah. So anyway, what do you guys want to talk about? Any wrestling? I got a few minutes. Any wrestling? Let's see. What do you got questions on? Oh, you got one of the ones that drift. Yeah, that's why I bought a controller. One of the controllers, but I don't think they work with Switch 2s, which is kind of pissing me off. But oh well. You know, I mean, Robert, you mentioned Game Boy and playing old games. I mean, I've been, Pong was a thing when I was like 5 or 6. So it's like I like all the games. I mean, I'll sometimes want to play Atari, or, I've got right here, speaking of old, someone gave me these. These are little wood blocks from the Atari game Adventure, which I love Adventure. I've got the hat. I've got an Adventure hat that has a key on it. It's got the gold key. It's right there on the head. A baseball cap, which is kind of funny. But I mean, I also play a lot of, I find myself playing a lot of Game Boy Advance on this thing. So, I mean, it really is kind of a retro system, but it's fun. See, I was never a Genesis guy. I liked Nintendo. I think I liked the color and the art style and all of that. Yeah, I just think Andrade. I also wonder, crowd didn't really care about Aleister Black either. It's like these two guys. I was just like, yeah, I'm just not a Genesis guy. I was always more of a Mario guy than Sonic looks cool. It looks really cool. I just never got into it. I was just more of a Genesis guy. So no big deal. Oh yeah, Mega Drive, the Mega Drive. My brother likes Sega better than Nintendo. I thought Vegeta was great. Yeah, that I didn't realize he was that old. Yeah. Those guys look so young. I mean, I just hope they go with him. They need some new Super Junior faces. I don't know. But the good news is, I guess, that New Japan doesn't rush things. They take their time to develop and sort of, tend the garden. So when someone's ready, they're ready. What does Aleister Black stand for? I've said this a million times. What does he want? Money, titles, control? Why is he dressed like that? Does he worship some dark deity? What? I know some people have joked to saying he's Dutch. And I was like, that's true. But it's like, what are you? What are you doing? I don't know. Yeah, where's Rusev been? Yeah, these guys, they were let go from WWE once before. They went to AEW. They weren't happy in AEW. Didn't want to lose to anybody because they were big WWE superstars. And now it's like, well, they're back in WWE and they got nobody to blame for themselves. If they don't make it, I wish them no ill will, but if they don't make it. Also, I am wondering about Julia. I wonder if WWE is the right environment for Julia. It just feels like I don't know. It's like, Stephanie Verkeer doesn't have Julia's experience, but she's more over than Julia is. Just by, Stephanie Verkeer is like the new sex symbol, the new it girl, which I didn't see that coming because, she's not blonde, but, she definitely has caught the eye of a lot of the WWE universe. I don't know. See what happens with Julia. Julia's great, but she just hasn't shown anything yet. So, I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. What do you think about Worlds Collide? How do you think it's going to be? You think it's going to be great, or do you think it's going to be just okay? Oh, dude, yeah. No. I don't think Ray Phoenix is over either. As far as talents, he's not Japanese, but I think Penta's over because Penta's got the gimmick, He's very charismatic. He comes out. He's got a unique look. He plays to the crowd. He's got a catchphrase and a motion he does. All that stuff. Where Phoenix doesn't. It's just like, I don't know. What's going to happen? Yeah, another 4-hour show with AEW. It's not, I complain about Smackdown shows being 3 hours. But the reason I complain is because there are a lot of filler. If it was 4 hours of just bang, bang, bang and exciting, and then I wouldn't care as much. It's not the length, it's what you do with it. Wait, am I still talking about wrestling? But it's just, with AEW, was 4 hours long? Yes, it was. But it felt like, for the most part, it never really let up. There was always things happening, and I think they did the best they could do with 4 hours. Although, like I said, it's not my favorite thing. But, as far as 4-hour goes, there wasn't a lot of filler. And it went well. So, yes, that joke brought to you by Blue Chew. Brought to you by Blue Chew. Oh, yeah, Jordan Grace. That's going to be interesting. She's muscular, but she's small. And it's like, people think of Rhea Ripley as big and strong. So it's like, can someone small and strong get over? That will be curious. Yeah. We shall see. It's going to be interesting to see how, you're right, Crash TV, how WWE-ized that AAA will be. What's going to happen there as far as matches and as far as what they're going to do? I don't know. Yeah, maybe she's not Mariah May. I think she's gonna have a new name, which is fine. Mariah May is not the greatest name. I think I would keep Mariah, but I think get rid of May. I don't think that's a big deal. Yeah, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. You're right. I was watching AR Fox this week, and AR, I feel like he needs new gear. He needs something, he needs an identity. It's like, he's not a fox, not like a real, like he shouldn't be a furry, something like that, but he needs, something. Something as far as a look when he comes out. A distinct look. And I don't know what, though. Yeah, it could benefit as a heel, yeah. With Ricochet, yeah. Yeah. Yep, he does. He needs something. Needs gear, catchphrase, mascot, something. But I mean, he gets reaction for how over he is, as far as his creativity and his high flying and his ability. I mean, I was just thinking about Hechicero and the Alchemist. That's kind of his gimmick as far as new, his creativity and all these things. Is there a gimmick you could do with AR Fox along? But it'd have to be cool too. That's the hard part. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't think, as far as the Top Flight gimmick, okay, they shouldn't dress like captains, pilot captains, but I did like Layla as like the stewardess. I did like that. I mean, as far as heels go, that would be a good heel thing. I like her as a stewardess, but those guys should have come out in like flight bomber jackets and stuff, something like that. Something a little cooler, but the same idea with the flight gimmick. So, yeah. Can you hurt Mark Briscoe? I don't know. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, you could even just do Top Flight or something. Those ladies painted on the side of a fighter plane. That's funny. Well, she'll have to watch that one if she's funny in AEW. She's really improved. You can tell she's working hard, and that's really cool. Good for her. Well, Mark, from what I understand, Mark Briscoe will do anything. You want to go out there and lose to Serpentico? Boom. He'll go out there and lose to Serpentico. Do you want him to, do whatever? And he'll just do it. And because I think he's happy to be there, happy making money, and also the dude is over, and I think he's fairly bulletproof. I mean, I think people would like, sort of like Beast Mortos, people would like to see him win more. But I think he's over, and he'll just go out there and do it. And I think it's also a contrast because there were people there who we know who would often refuse to do things that were asked of them. So, but it's my understanding Mark Briscoe is very well liked and is, a team player as far as he'll go out and do whatever. Get somebody over, do what needs to be done. But I mean, the crowd loves him. The crowd loves him. So, yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Roosh. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah, Okada and Omega is going to be great, of course. Of course. I mean, those guys are good friends. They've wanted this for a long time. So that'll be good. Yeah, where is Hologram? And put a Lucha Libre title on it. Have a WW or have an AEW Lucha title or a Cruiserweight, something. Some kind of spotlight title for Hologram, because what does he have? Is he 22-0 or some ridiculous number? It's and he's not in any title picture at all. So I would just think that he needs to do that. They do have a lot of talent. I agree. They do have a lot of talent. Not only is there too many titles, there's just too much of everything these days. You get too many McNuggets. You get too many this. Everything is an overload of stuff. Everything is. So I just think, I don't know. I don't really worry about the too many titles anymore. I don't really worry about that. Yeah. He needs a spotlight title. They should have a cruiserweight title, but that's just me, or some X division or whatever you want to do. Something. Or you could do a CMLL, like an AEW CMLL title. So it's the title defended in both companies. Or unfortunately, what you could do just think. See, I guess NXT already has a North American title, so you don't want a North American title, but something like is there Can-Am is obviously Canadian American. Is there an Amex? You could do an Amex title. AM for American, MEX for Mexico. Do an Amex title. And that way, someone can defend the title in both AEW in the United States or Canada. America counts either one. But then in Mexico, too, for a CMLL. Like an Amex title. You want a different name. Something along those lines. At least that's kind of what I think. But what do I know? Something like that. Yeah. An Amex title. Yeah. There we go. Something along those lines. And that way you can send a luchador. Yeah. A global cruiserweight title or something with both companies. A dual company title. Something where it's both of them. But what do I know? I don't know. I'm just a dumb guy. Hang on. Give me 1 second. All right. Oh, thank God. Thank God I just got some good news. If I'm ever a pass, let me know. I don't want to be bald. All right, there we go. Hey. Sorry about that. Got to do that. Okay, done and done. Done and done. There we go. Sorry about that. That was important. Anyway, all right, kids. I should probably get wrapping up today because I got some things to do. Hey, if I were to do like an extra show just for fun, what do you think would be a good time? Like, what would be a good, like in the evening, afternoon? I don't know. What do you think would be a good time? Because I'm on the Pacific Coast. So it's like 11:30 right now, 11:30 in the morning. Anyway. All right. Hang on. Oh. All right, there we go. I don't know. Maybe just during the week sometime. You know? I don't know. Sometimes I just want to come on and just talk to you guys. I always have things very planned out because, just in case nobody's here or something, I was like, just always for my own benefit. Very, very planned out. I'd like to give you a show, I don't want to just come on here and, I have to run down Smackdown, I guess, but I don't just want to give you my opinions on a show like everybody else does or do the same kind of thing that everybody else does. I want to do a show. I come here prepared because it's just me talking. But I like to take your questions and stuff. A lot of times you guys give me kind of a indication of what you're thinking of versus what I'm thinking of. And it's like, oh yeah, should have thought of that. Or, okay, we're in line today. Or what have you. Sometimes, there are things maybe I wasn't thinking of or was like, hey, is that a good topic or not? And then you guys frame it in a way that maybe I hadn't thought of. Those type of things. So I appreciate that. But yeah, we can just come on and chat. Like, I remember when, you're in Western Europe? Where are you, Crash? 6 p.m. Eastern, so like 3 Pacific. Okay. Oh, like Brian's time. That's Brian's time. I can't take Brian's time. Thursday night. Yeah. There we go. Sunday, possibly. Oh, you're in Dublin, Ireland. Nice. Nice. The Hurt Syndicate is fascinating because they look so impressive. Well, and they are very impressive. Both those guys are just incredible athletes. MVP is a great talker. It's also kind of amazing. It wasn't that long ago that MVP was talking about how he was kind of on hard times. And, he's had a few good years in WWE and AEW. And, by all accounts, he's a really good guy. And you like to see good guys succeed. So that's cool. I don't know what it feels like MJF's purpose is to screw up and cost them the tag team titles. So Bobby Lashley and Benjamin don't look like, patsies. At least that's kind of my feeling. So, I could see, FTR is going to need a title probably at some point. That could happen. You could do one of Callis's, teams. Someone from Callis could do it. All that stuff. Hey, Silcone, welcome. Welcome. I appreciate you being here. Welcome. What does it say? It's Sweetcade. It's nice. Sorry. I love you too, Sherwood. Sherwood Lovehead. That's such a funny name. Oh, what happens? Yeah, they look good. Hopefully there's something. I will say, one thing that Tony Khan or AEW is good at is putting people together who on the surface don't seem obvious, but then it is. Then works really well together. They gel really, really well. So that's kind of cool. I do appreciate that. So there we go. There we go. Hey, sweetheart. 12:30?
12:30 we're calling. I've already had the first interview.
Yeah.
But they want to talk to you next.
Okay. Hang on one second, guys. That's okay.
Oh,
What?
sure. No, I can definitely interrupt.
No, go ahead.
12:30. No, they were thrilled that we knew what a record was.
Oh.
And that we're prepared. I'll give you those details.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got some
Great.
story for you.
Alrighty, sweet.
I'm gonna go do strawberries.
Alrighty, go do strawberries. How am I feeling these days? I'm feeling pretty good. I've been a little tired, but I'm okay. It's a balance. Meds give, meds take away, and you just got to kind of find that balance. But I'm trying to get more exercise in. I put on some weight, which bugs me, but I guess that's normal for people with kidney transplants. And also, since I had my transplant, I've had a wicked sweet tooth. And I just never had that before, and I got to stop with that. So I got to get back down to my fighting weight. I got about 25 pounds I got to drop. That's bad. That's bad. It's bad. So I got to stop. So I've tried to cut out a lot of junk and just try to get some more exercise in and get things a little more under control. Drink my water. Not drinking enough water. You got to drink your water. So, thank you. I appreciate that, Sherwood. I try to stay. I think staying hydrated is a key to the voice. Like right now, in my head, which sounds different, I kind of sound like myself. A little bit. I gotta drink like 2 liters of water a day. So, yeah. I would love to see Fletcher. Yeah, gotta get the steps in. But my wife and I have been doing that. I've been trying to but it's been hard. I mean, I've been kind of depressed since we lost Sherman. We went and looked for, I forgot. We went and looked at cats the other day, but nothing yet. Someone sent this to us. Very sweet. There's Sherman. Such a good boy. Yeah, it's hard. I kind of feel silly sometimes because, he's a cat. But at the same time, we spent so much time together. He was like my best friend. So it's been hard. But, I mean, still got to keep it in perspective. It's, it's different. But still, he's my best friend. I miss him. It is what it is, though. All right. Yeah, I'd love to see. Fletcher's got such a bright future. Fletcher is great. To see him develop over the past few months has been amazing. Yeah, I love Sherman. I miss him. He was our family member. He'd eat at the table with us, and he was. I mean, seriously, he wasn't a cat. He was like a third of the house. He just was like, I'm part of the deal. So, anyway. Yeah, Kyle Fletcher's been great. There's been a lot of great wrestling. What else? Anything else exciting? Nothing really exciting, but I think it's going to be a good show. Anyway. All right, kids. Well, I should probably wrap up. Yeah, I love my cat. I loved him so much. Prime Rock and Roll Express, Prime Anderson and Blanchard. I mean, Rock and Roll Express, longer career, went more places. Anderson Blanchard did go to WWF and won both NWA and WWF tag team titles. A very impressive accomplishment, particularly for the time. But if you want longevity and everything, I probably Rock and Roll Express. But it's very, very close. And they're both very, very good. So it's no disrespect to Anderson and Blanchard. I mean, for the short time they were together, they accomplished quite a bit. But Rock and Roll Express has been going a very, very long way. Brainbusters and Demolition was good. It was also fascinating, you know, in the NWA, Rock and Roll Express were a top tag team. Beat the Russians first night in. You know, the Russians were Nikita Koloff like a road warrior, Crusher Khrushchev like a road warrior, Uncle Ivan the general. So for two relatively small guys like Ricky and Robert to beat the Russians was a big accomplishment and a surprise. But they were over, no question. However, Anderson and Blanchard fighting the Rockers, well, it's every bit as good, and the Rockers were every bit as talented. On the hierarchy of WWF at the time, it's not the same thing, because the Rockers would invariably lose to the bigger teams. Invariably. Always count on a great match. Fans loved them. But WWE, Land of the Giants. And Brainbusters versus Demolition. Another great show. Another great match. But, again, Demolition, the big guys. And Anderson and Blanchard for WWE, kind of small. Which version of Midnight Express did I like? Oh, I will take Stan Lane and Eaton every day of the week. Every day. Yeah, I agree with you. Stan had more pizzazz. You know, it's always funny to me. Jim Cornette, God bless him, knows more about wrestling than I ever will. No disputing that. But he always talks about how this person looks like a plumber, or this guy's got a bad body, or this guy's small, or da-da-da-da. It's like, have you seen Dennis Condrey? Talk about looking like a plumber. Come on. All right, Shufflebox. Appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you next time. I'm wondering if Chad Gable is going to fight twice on both pay-per-views. I wonder if they're going to do the mask gimmick and have Julius Creed under a mask as El Grande Americano. That's what I'm wondering. So that's kind of my thought. I mean, it could be Chad Gable, and this is just I don't know that this will happen. I mean, I think it's going to be Seth. And if it's not Seth is going to win the King of the Ring. But I could see one of the Creeds, probably Julius because he's smaller, dressed up as El Grande Americano. And then Chad Gable comes out from under the ring and wins Money in the Bank by cheating. Or helps Chad Gable win the title by cheating. One of the two. That's kind of my thought on that. But I don't know. Yeah, Stan Lane did have personality. And they just looked cooler and more modern and less. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're absolutely talented. But the optics were so much better and so much more current, as opposed to having kind of a territorial look. And that was when Bobby Eaton pulled off some weight and wasn't quite as heavy, kind of improved his hair, and they just looked cooler and better, had better gear, all of that. So that was kind of my thought as far as that goes. Interesting. Yeah. We'll see what happens with if they're going to do anything with building to triple mania. I assume they're having a triple Yeah. The super kicks, the dance, the hair, the tan. He was cooler. I mean, and you think about, Stan Lane, everyone talks about Ricky Morton being a great tag team wrestler, but to be a part of 2 legendary tag teams is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Did look like a gym coach. That's true. That's true. But yeah, no, I would take Stan and Bobby any day. And talk about looks. What about Randy Rose? I don't know. Seems like, I don't know, some people who, I don't know. Doesn't he look like a plumber? I don't know. Anyway. All right, kids. Well, I should wrap up. I got to go get some lunch and we got some errands. But I always appreciate you guys here. And if you want to share the show or tell people about the show, it would be much appreciated. Not that you have to, but it would be great if you did. Be cool if you did. Anyway. All right, kids. I will talk to you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. And I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate all of you guys. You guys like the overtime, right? No one else does it, but I don't mind. The overtime's cool. Get to answer some of your questions. All right. Talk to you guys later. Appreciate you guys, as always. See you in 3 weeks. Yes to overtime. Fair enough. All right. Talk to you guys. Oh, it's the best part. Overtime's the best part. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you like it. So, anyway, if you guys want to share the show, help me get my numbers up, I would appreciate it. All right, man. Talk to you guys later.